All right, so we're at Tesoro Farms down in Norco, California this weekend, and down here with some really nice people at their barn. We're going to be training down here with them. And this is one of the owner's horses that she's been having some serious issues with, being hyper and prancy and not easy to control. Just basically hope you come home alive after you ride kind of thing. So the first thing we noticed when we got here, I wish I had a picture of the bit, but it was a big shanked bit with a big nasty snaffle on the inside, which is extremely harsh. And then when you start pulling on these horses' mouths, that just is devastating for them. They just can't handle the pain, so they try to get away from it, which is one reason that she's being so hyper. So this is the first time I've worked with this horse. I've never seen her before till today, but we're going to see if we can get her to get really soft laterally for us. Right now you try to ask her to turn around and she just pulls. So, and this isn't the best halter for this. I prefer rope halters, but that's what we've got. So we'll teach her to be soft laterally before we get on and start having her travel out for us. And you'll see she's really high-headed and really hyper, and we want to get her settled down to where she's just a nice, quiet trail horse. She's a gaited horse, so she's going to have a different move than a quarter horse or some of those we work with. So, what we want to do is get her to where she will flex laterally for us. And if you notice, I'm pulling pretty hard on her, and she's totally ignoring me right there. So what we want her to do is to flex her head around and just give to this pressure and drop that pressure off of that rope. And as soon as she does, we'll release her and let her go. So see right there, she's pulling pretty hard. I got white knuckles holding her. As soon as she gives me, right there, she gave me a little and I let her go. So we're gonna keep working with her for a little bit here and see if we can get her just to bring her head around. I'll get her back around here. So we want her to flex her head around and relax without moving her feet. There, that was perfect. So that time she gave really well. So we want her to do that just with the lightest of pressure here. See right there, she's real heavy. So every time we release her right there, she'll get softer and softer. And if you notice the licking and chewing, she's starting to understand that. So we'll bring her back around. There's a give. So that's actually pretty good for a stiff horse with a web halter on. So ask her again. There, she gave pretty good right there. Actually, that's not bad for a stiff, really stiff horse. So we'll ask her again. Good. Ask her again. There, good. That's actually really good. Ask her again. We want her to be really soft with these lateral movements so that we can help her relax when we get on. Good. Okay, so we've seen our first reaction with her. When you go to get on her, she moves. I don't like to have a horse ever move. So what we're gonna do, if we go to put our foot in the stirrup and she moves like that, see, every time I go to get on, she moves. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and flex her head around like we just did. Let her stand still. And we're just gonna bounce here and make sure she'll stand still before we get on. Now right there, she tried to pull her head away from me. So we're just gonna flex her around. Okay, so this is problem number one. We can't get her to stand still and just relax. Every time she walks off, we'll bring her back in and have her give us her head. There, she gave it to us. So she should not walk off until I ask her to go. Okay, so I can flex her back and forth here, make sure she'll stand still. Stops moving her feet and gives me her head. And then she should just stand there until I ask her to travel. Now, when it's my idea, I can ask her to go forward. If she goes faster than I want, I'll shut her back down again. Okay, so now we've got her moving out, but as you can see, her head is extremely high. She's used to having a big heavy bit in her mouth, and she thinks someone's gonna pull on her. So what we're gonna do is just guide her around, let her know if you notice she's on a perfectly loose rein. As long as she'll walk, I'll let her travel. Look where you wanna go. Now already, she's 100% more relaxed than she was even 30 seconds ago. You see that? So just the bit alone that was in this horse's mouth, and then the owner not knowing, but pulling way too hard on her face, has made her just travel out of control. You can see how her head's in the air and it's flopping all over. She's used to trying to get away from that pressure. So we're just gonna ask her nice and light for these turns. Now right there, she's settled down to walking good. We just need to let her get her head down. So we'll ask her to go this way. Look where we want to go. Much better. So already she's way happier just not having that extreme harsh bit in her mouth. And then we've got her on a nice loose rein. Now this is, you just let her act up right here and just have her do some little figure eights. Then when we work her a little bit, we'll walk her down there and let her rest. And then pretty soon she's going, I don't even want to go to the gate. So even right there, just a couple, and then all of a sudden she's back again. So this is just getting her over her habits.
She was testing.
Yep.
It's like, oh wait, are we good now? Okay.
Now watch how she'll walk away.
No.
See this?
And she's not racing for the gate.
No.
Have you ever seen that, Chrissy? She's crying. Her horse is laying.
You see how relaxed that is? So about 10 minutes is all it took us to get the pressure out of her mouth. You see that right there?
Yeah.
She keeps expecting me to pull on her mouth, and I'm not going to do it.
7 years. Yeah.
Yeah, so once she realizes it's not going to happen, she just relaxes.
So same as though.
Yeah, just an O or a D ring just like this is all you need.
And that's fine to have that little thing in the middle?
Yeah.
Okay. Uses a lot of
Now if you want her to
have either an O ring or D ring on mine.
Yeah, if you guys get to know me at all, bits are, well, you can see this horse was in a bad position with that bit. Now the other thing you're going to want to do, Jen, instead of do this to stop her, see how her head comes up?
Yeah.
Watch this. We're just going to sit down and go, whoa, and we're going to bring her head in here and let her stop moving her feet. Remember we did this with your other horse? And there's your flex right there.
Okay, and she's good at flexing.
Yeah, well,
have that part down, but
when I first started with her with that web halter, I couldn't get her head around. With the bit, she's pretty decent. So, but we want, see right there, her first reaction was to walk off.
Right.
We want her, if we want to do this 100 times, we want to do that without her moving. We want her to go forward when we ask her to go forward.
Okay.
So see how her first reaction is to move?
Step.
But you watch in about 2 or 3 minutes, she's going to understand that this actually means relax and stop.
Yeah.
There, see how she can't now.
Yeah.
So now if there, that time she didn't walk off on me.
Yeah.
So we just got to sit and just do these with her and let her know that this means stop and relax, not go. The only thing that means go to her at this point, and then I'll release her and let her stand. My guess is she doesn't stand well.
No.
Okay, there you go. Now watch. There's go. I didn't do anything.
A go was what?
I just shifted my weight and squoze my feet a little bit.
You shifted your weight. Oh. Okay. Waiting for that command of shifting forward then.
See, right now it's been her agenda. She's going when she wants to go.
Sure.
And now I'm just saying, you can go if you want, but we're going to go ahead and say, whoa. And we're going to shut you down to this stop, and then we're going to let you stand nice and quiet. Now, I'll see if you can.
She just is so much comfort. You can see it in her eyes.
Yeah.
She's not bug-eyed and stressed out.
No. And you see these little things where she grabs it, that's going to go away because she no longer has pressure in her mouth. She
When
keeps
I'm going
expecting that to
faster is
hit.
what I'm nervous about. Like,
When you're what?
just going faster. Like, and I say faster, not a canter, because she doesn't have a canter.
Oh, she does.
Well, I would love. I want to learn that.
Yeah.
I always want to get on another horse to
Let me
feel
see
it.
it.
But the thing you have to realize at this point is you're going to have to step back a little bit because faster is what she's been forced into, and then this has really caused her some issues. So look what she's doing right now.
Yeah.
She can walk off anytime. Now watch this. All I'm doing, watch this little shift. And there's her go forward.
Oh my God. That's so incredible.
See, there's no flipping her head anymore. Now if you want to go a little faster, see how she tried to grab her head right there? I'll just keep her in these and just have her point her nose where I want to go. Just hold herself down.
When you ask her to go faster, just a squeeze.
Just a little squeeze, all you need.
Tiniest you need.
Yeah.
With her, huh?
Yep.
Almost like I've only used like a kid.
See, and with her, the problem is once you get her going faster and then you yank on her to stop, it pulls her head in the air, takes all the weight off of her front feet, and it makes them jig. See, we got to get her standing still first with this, and then we'll see how she tried to grab it from me. So I'm just going to hold her here. I'll just stay relaxed. If she pulls it away, I'll just bring her back down. Now watch where her head goes once she starts getting this. You see this change right there? All of a sudden she just went, oh, I can relax.
Yeah.
So her first reaction to everything is throw her head in the air and try to release that bit
So
pressure.
you just keep, every time she does that, you just kind of
Yep.
flex her to the side.
Flex her to the side and you wait for, I'll see if I can show you this right here. So where they learn is from the release.
Right.
So if I hold her here and don't release her when she gives to me,
Like normal.
you're just going to make her stiff.
Yeah.
But see right there, she gave it to me.
Wanted that, huh?
Right there, she gave it to me, so I dropped it. Right here, right there, she gave it, so I dropped it. So if you release her every time she does that, and then what happens, we can start going to this vertical. She's going to take a little time because she's been pulled on a lot. But
Yeah.
so if I put pressure here vertically, I'm just going to let her throw her head like that. Now watch. If
What does she do? Why
Okay,
does
so
she
you see
do
her drop her head just a tiny bit? I released it. So it's the same thing. And pretty soon, when she realizes every time her head goes in the air, there's pressure. When it goes down, there's not. She'll start ducking her head for us. See that right there? That's what your bit's done to her.
So is that why she's doing this?
Yes.
Waiting. Oh.
Yes.
It has been cutting into its mouth.
See that
Oh
right
my
there?
God, it breaks your heart. Like I didn't know.
Now, right there, she's quit throwing her head, but I want her to give her head down instead of up.
Right.
So she's trying to understand what you're asking. Huh?
Now, when she gives to me just a little tiny bit, I'm going to let her go.
Let it go.
I'm not going to pull harder. I'm just going to keep it there, and I'm not going to release her when she's doing that for sure. And they just have to kind of reason through this. There, right there, she gave me just a little tiny bit.
Yeah, I saw that. So
She went up after, but I still gave her the benefit of the doubt. So same thing, I'll hold her here. Okay, there's the head quit throwing. Okay, she gave me just a tiny, I could feel it, and you couldn't really see that, but, so we'll go back to it again. It's a lot easier to teach it there. She gave it to me.
Yeah, see, she wasn't, like at least she wasn't throwing her
Yeah.
head. She was kind of like, okay.
Yeah, and you don't want to expect them to give it all right away because you
Right.
find a starting point and then you just build on it.
Right.
So once you get her understanding it, then you ask her to go a little farther. If you ask for too much, she's just going to fight it. There, did you see that?
Yeah.
There. So already she's starting to give vertically instead of up. Okay. So if you can hold it right there. Now just nice and quiet. There you go. Okay. When's the last time you did that?
No, never.
Okay, now if she walks off, the first
was
thing,
not
now,
okay.
okay, so first thing you did was get all hyper and grab
Yeah.
her. Okay, so that's,
So that, okay.
okay, so what we got to get you doing is just reaching down like this, nice and quiet, and doing this.
get
So
this
you got to
out.
slow your body completely down.
Okay.
Okay, now if she'll stand there for you, she's going to want to go with me. So right there, she walked off. So look what I'm going to do. Just pull it right there. Wait for her to stop. Wait for her to give her head to you.
And then.
No, not yet.
No, not yet.
You tell me what, right there. Give to her.
Okay.
Okay, now don't hold her reins. If she'll stand, okay, now do a one. Okay, right there, just let her stand. Let her have her head. If you start pulling her left and right, she's going to move because you're asking her to move.
I see.
Okay.
Okay.
So now, when you want her to go, just a nice slight. Don't kick her. Don't do anything.
And
Just
is the
squeeze.
kiss okay? Because that's what I always do, or no?
Yeah, it is, but a lot of times a kiss gets too much. There, see that?
Okay.
So, and you just got to keep that nice. Now, just concentrate. You don't really. Now, can you feel the difference in her?
Yes. Huge.
Now, look where you want to go. When she does the right thing, you just drop the reins and let her walk.
That's huge.
Way better. See, you're being soft with her too and not getting hyper. It helps when she's doing good, huh?
Yeah.
Now just walk her down to the other end. And just remember not to get grabby with her. Just steer her. God, that's way different.
Zoe's right behind.
I know.
He tries to like.
That's what happens when you become her leader, even though horses are always going to want to be by each other.
Right.
But if you're being the leader, now have Zoe stop right here and then turn around, walk her off.
See, okay, stay there.
And Zoe, same thing. If Zoe's probably going to want to go,
Yeah, make Zoe stay.
but if you can get to where they're listening to you,
Yeah.
look at that. She's just going to walk off for you. Now you can steer her down there, like walk her around and then just walk her off. If she tries to come back, you just
Now,
steer her down there and let her go.
now, okay, my next question is okay, so.
Now right there, drop your reins because
Okay.
she's standing for you. There you go.
Okay, so if I just want her to hoe, I am going to pull back a little bit.
No, use your one rein
So it's always the one rein.
for now. Okay.
Okay.
What we're going to do, see, because where she's been pulled on her whole life. Well, you can feel this. If you do this to stop her, she's going to start doing this.
Yeah, she hates it.
So
Yeah.
walk with me.
Okay.
This is going to be your stop, okay?
Okay.
Reach down with one rein,
Okay.
pull back and say, whoa. Wait for her to stop. Put your hand down low. Wait for there. Now let her go. There's your stop.
Okay. So
Okay.
no pulling back at all.
Do not pull back on her. Okay. Use the lateral stuff, and then we're going to fix that.
Okay.
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 Now remember, when you do that flex, you got clear up in here. Just pull
I
back.
need to
You
go
come right
back.
up. Come right up the seam of your jeans, right here, and don't go
Okay.
back here. Come
So
right
just
to your
sit
belt,
here.
right there.
Okay.
And just wait for her right here.
Okay.
Now she has to quit moving her feet, and then she has to give you her head.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Those
And
two things
this-
before I.
Yes, and this
I'm
is what's
processing it all.
this is what's made her do what she's doing right now. Is just 15 minutes I took with her to do that.
You know, like I didn't ask her to walk. So
She
I'm
just
gonna-
she just rebalanced and she wasn't going
okay.
anywhere. So
Okay.
now if
no
she
pulling back
no
at all.
if she did walk off on you, you just reach down, pull in here, let her feet quit moving, give you her head, then drop her again. You don't ever want to hold one from moving. You want them to just choose not to move.
Right. And now, what is this like when she does this? Like she's asking me.
I've been teaching her to flex.
Yeah,
That's a
so
great
she's like,
problem to
yeah.
have. Yep.
Yeah. Okay.
That's a lot better than doing this.
Yeah. Yeah.
So.
Okay.
Okay, now all you got to do is just shift your weight forward and
Okay.
squeeze with your legs a little and watch where she goes. See where her head went that time?
And I gave it to her.
Yeah, it didn't go up, it went down.
Can you believe it?
Send this to Jessica.
That looks like a whole different horse.
Yeah.
She's
like a quarter
moving good, she's walking good. Man, when I got on her down there, she was stumbling all over. She couldn't even hardly stand up. Dang, that's really
So
nice.
fun now. I'm like relaxed and.
You want to walk with me? With her, like be making. Because I'm working on this.
Yeah, that horse, honestly, even at a walk, could not walk a half hour ago. She was all over the place. And now she's walking like a quarter horse more than she is a walker.